Hey, good morning, traders. Today is March 19th, 2024. Thank you for being here. My SPY pivot this morning, 514.30. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab Five except IWM made higher highs and higher lows. SPY and FNGU closed inside the trap and above the rising 17 EMA. QQQ still in a downtrend, closed under the bearish trap and under the flat 17 EMA. Diamond Dow, still in an uptrend, closed under the bearish trap and under the flat 17 EMA. IWM, still in a downtrend, made a higher high and a lower low while closing under a bearish trap and under the flat 17 EMA. GLD, in an uptrend, made a lower high and a lower low while closing inside the bullish trap over the rising 17. SLV, in an uptrend, made a higher high and a higher low while closing above the bullish trap and over the rising 17 EMA. USO, still in an uptrend, made a higher high, higher low, closing over the bullish trap and over the rising 17. UNG, back to a downtrend, closed inside the bearish trap and below the 17 EMA, trying to fight that one off. US dollar index is in a downtrend, but it retraced its way back up to the flat 200 SMA. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. First chart, we'll take a look at SPY. Move this out of the way. So for price action yesterday, you can see we were higher high, higher low as compared to the day before. That would be Friday. And we closed inside, you can barely see it, inside this bearish trap right here, but above the rising 17 EMA. Still bullish on SPY. Let's take a look at FNGU. All right. Wait, what happened there? There we go. So FNGU is in a downtrend, but still bullish. That's a bull flag up there. Kind of looking like a top, but just saying it's still bullish up there, hanging out in the upper quadrant. So it's in a downtrend, so it's cooling off. That's what we like. We want it to cool off. So FNGU, higher high, higher low, closed inside the trap, but underneath the 17 EMA here. So FNGU kind of cooling off in the bull flag. All right, Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow still in an uptrend, hasn't broken these lows. All right, so Diamond Dow made higher high, higher low, closing underneath the bearish trap and underneath this flat 17 EMA. All right, so there's Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at IWM, then we're going to go to QQQ. IWM, all right, will not be in a downtrend till it breaks this low right here. Okay, so it's got all the way down to 196.50 that it can move. Price action for yesterday for IWM, lower high, lower. I think we got a higher high, 203.18. 203.08. Okay, IWM got a higher high and a lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap and a flat 17 EMA, dealing with this uptrend line. In the pre-market, they have us down here. We'll see what happens if they're going to get a bounce today. Okay, so IWM still in an uptrend, just pulling back, and you can see we got the 3 crossing underneath the 8 there on IWM. QQQ. QQQ in a downtrend, all right, but still bullish. Just bull flagging up here. Currently, it's in a downtrend. All right, QQQ, higher high, higher low, closed below the bearish trap, below a flat 17 EMA there. There's QQQ. All right, let's take a look at our technicals. Technicals had us for yesterday. We came out of the middle of the 2 chop zones, and we ended up in the middle of the 2 chop zones, spending most of our time leaning on the buy zone. Couldn't quite get up there. made a higher low here and a higher high. So still looking for another higher low and maybe a higher high on T2122. Although IWM doesn't seem to want to project that this morning. So we'll see what happens. All right, so T2123, you can see move up and then red, green, red, and then fade back to right where we left off. Okay, so just about right where we left off, T21, 22, 23. T21, 3 bar, still green. Notice right there, although 17 EMA closing in on the price action dipping just a little bit. Still bullish there, T21, 23. All right, let's take a look at our FNGU indicator. All right, so gap up this morning, pull back to this falling 200 SMA, and we failed to find any support from this 200 SMA. We'll find out today if we can get a candle to close up there. Not sure what's going to happen. We got an FOMC announcement tomorrow. So here's FNGU, gapped up over it, spiked up over it, and just couldn't find a home anywhere on top of this falling 200 SMA. So we're falling back to this uptrend line again. So we'll see what happens today on that. So let's go take a look at, the energy sector, USO. USO had a really nice day. This is petroleum crude oil. Higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over a rising 17 EMA. Nice breakout through the resistance right here. You can see we got up over the resistance, came back, tested it, and then popped up even higher. So there's USO. Definitely bullish on USO. UNG, different story. UNG broke this low right here, putting it in a downtrend. It'll be a while before they're back in an uptrend. They'll have to break this high or create a lower high and beat that. So they've got a lot of work. It's going to be a few days before they hit uptrend status unless they can put in a big, huge igniting bar coming off of this low right here. So you can see they're in a downtrend, and price action yesterday, they're trying to fight it off. It is a higher low and a higher high, closing inside the bearish trap, but under the flat 17 EMA. So there's our energy sector. Let's take a look at precious metals. Start off with silver. Silver's been doing very well. Silver, yesterday's price action, got a lower high and a lower low as compared to the day before, but closing over the bullish trap and over a rising 17 EMA. Nice bullish trap. A lot of space there. Like to see that. GLD. GLD putting in a lower high and a lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over a rising 17 EMA. This is cooling off nicely. This should be ready maybe this week or next week for a nice pop. Challenge this high sometime, I think, maybe later this week, maybe after CPI. We'll see. So there's GLD. Nice bull flag forming right there. I don't know how long it's going to take to bull flag before it pops up. I'm thinking CPI is going to be the igniting catalyst to get this thing back up here and challenge that high. So there's GLD. We just did SLV. Let's go take a look around the market and let's see what the dollar's doing. Okay, so here's the dollar index, all right? So here we have the July low coming into the October high right there, end of October. November failure to make a new high or a higher high. So we enter a downtrend all the way down into major support back here. Challenge the uptrend, challenge the downtrend line, bull flag into it and a breakout. Challenge the 200 SMA, bull flag into it and then breakout. So here we are in an uptrend, breaking this low right here. And then guess what happened? We fell out of bed right there, creating a lower high and a lower low, put us in a downtrend again. And now they're fighting that off. As you can see, we're back up here at the blue line. That's the 200 SMA. we've got all three moving averages converging in this location right here around 103.90, 103.80, or between 103.50 and 103.80, right up there. Right now we're currently at 103.90. All right, so you can see that. So if they break this high right here, that will put them back into an uptrend. Right now they're in a downtrend. We were looking for them to come all the way down here and challenge this. And that still may happen after FOMC makes their statement. Just think about it. If they make a statement, they're not going to raise rates, and they're still projected to make a cut sometime in June or July. That would be nice. We could easily see this low get challenged and maybe even this low right here. We'll see what happens. So far, the downtrend is in jeopardy of being challenged. Pretty close to challenging it right there. All right, so there's the US dollar index. And if this thing starts to roll over, gold, silver, Bitcoin, all of it's going to get a nice pop. So, okay, on the economic calendar. Okay, the main event this week is the FOMC statement, but let's start with what's happening today. U.S. housing starts and permits, 8:30 this morning. Other than that, an FOMC meeting begins. Nothing happening there unless we can get some, fly on the wall to see what they're talking about. And Treasury International Capital, 4 p.m. Not sure what that is, but NBA mortgage applications tomorrow, Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Atlanta's Fed business inflation expectations at 10 a.m. That's really, these two really not market movers. Got a petroleum report, crude oil, 10:30. Main event, 2 o'clock. We're going to have an FOMC announcement based on rate cuts or remain where we are or possible rate increases. I don't see a rate increase coming, but it's always on the table. Fed chair, 2:30, they're going to have a little presser afterwards, and that's the main event. And then if we didn't get enough of Mr. Powell on Wednesday, he's going to return again on Friday at 9 a.m. before the market opens up. Thursday is your regular jobless claims, Philly Fed manufacturing, PMI composite flash, existing home sales at 10, and that's it. The main events this week are the FOMC announcements and Mr. Powell on Friday. So that's it there for the economic calendar. Let's take a peek at the earnings. All right, so we're on Tuesday the 19th. Nothing really notable happening here. Nothing that's going to really move the markets. Wednesday, PDD, 169 billion. They're going to report in the morning. Micron, 100 billion. They're going to report in the evening. Let's go a little further out. Try Thursday. Accenture, they're going to report about 250 billion. They're going to report in the morning. Nike is going to report Thursday evening, 150 billion. Let's go one more day out. Mr. Friday. Okay, and nothing notable happening Friday. So for earnings, Accenture and Nike on Thursday after the Fed makes its announcement on Wednesday afternoon at 2:30. So that's it. For Max Payne, let's go see what we got for Max Payne, and that is for today. Max Payne for today is 514. We'll see if we're going to get back up to 514. This is before the Fed announcement. We may visit 514 and then come back down. Right now we're kind of sitting on a midpoint for SPY. Going to go open up the 30-minute chart. Okay, and you can see, well, we're well past that midpoint. So here's the quad lines. There's a pop-up. We were resting on that midpoint earlier, and then the dollar spiked up, and then we came tumbling back down here to some of that minor support right through here. So we'll see what happens. If we get through here, we're going to start challenging major support. That would be the bottoms of these valleys right through here. So it looks like we hit some resistance at a possible midpoint. You can see here's the move down. We spiked up over the midpoint. We held up there for the most part. We ended the day right on the midpoint, right there. And then came the after hours trading, and it came tumbling down to here. So we'll see what happens with SPY. My pivot this morning is 514.25, which happens to be right along the top of this candle and this consolidation of candles. So right about right here, 514.30. Right about there. So you can see we're right on the top of all of these candles right through here. So we break that, and I think there's a good chance we start moving up higher. So below that, I'm a bear. Above that, I'm a bull. So here's the sell-off early in the morning here, a little bit of, and that's all due to the rising dollar. This is the culprit. Back here is going to be the dollar. You can see the dollar spiked up. You can see that at one time, you see that wick. Earlier today, this was a full green candle all the way up into these prior high here. So we'll see what happens. So I'm going to take questions in the room. All right. And if I don't have any questions, I'll go ahead and render my video, get it all posted up. I want to thank everybody out there in video land, everybody that subscribes and leaves a comment. Same with everybody on Facebook, everybody that subscribes, follows, or joins our trading group. Happy to have you. Please leave a comment if you have a trade. Feel free to leave a trade in the Facebook group account. It'd be nice to see what everyone else is doing. So happy you made it here today. All right, let's try and have a good day. All right, and try to stay disciplined. I'll take questions, and we'll see what happens.